The Galactic Military Academy's weapons engineering course had never seen anything quite like Elizabeth Chen. While her classmates, a mix of Vraxian warriors, Keltorian strategists, and Zephron technicians, hunched over their holographic workstations designing plasma rifles and graviton cannons, she sat in the corner of the workshop with what appeared to be sticks. Instructor Vraltok, a 7-foot-tall Vraxian with scales that shimmered like oil on water, clicked his mandibles in what might have been amusement or concern. His compound eyes tracked the human female as she carefully shaped a piece of flexible composite material, bending it with her bare hands. Cadet Chen, his translator rendered his chittering into standard galactic. The assignment was to design and construct a functional weapon using available materials. You have 3 cycles remaining. I see no power core, no targeting matrix, no— I'm almost done, sir, Elizabeth replied without looking up. Her fingers worked with surprising precision, notching the curved limb she'd created. Noah Martinez, her human compatriot and the only other member of their species in the class, leaned over from his station. Unlike Elizabeth, he'd been building something the instructors recognized, a modified energy weapon with an improved cooling system. Liz, what are you doing? This is 60% of our grade. Trust me, she whispered back, threading what looked like a braided cable between the 2 ends of her curved implement. Vraltok's mandibles clicked again, faster this time. The sound rippled through the classroom and several alien students turned to watch. The Vraxian instructor had a reputation for being unforgiving toward what he called primitive thinking. He'd already failed 3 cadets this semester for insufficiently innovative designs. Time, Vraltok announced, his voice echoing through the workshop. Present your weapons for field testing. One by one, the students demonstrated their creations. Plasma bolts scorched the reinforced walls of the testing chamber. Sonic disruptors shattered composite targets. A particularly clever Keltorian had designed a weapon that could phase shift its ammunition through solid matter. Vraltok acknowledged each with a curt nod, making notes on his datapad. Noah's improved energy weapon performed admirably, achieving a 23% increase in sustained fire duration. The instructor's scales rippled with approval. Then came Elizabeth's turn. She stood, cradling her curved stick and a handful of straight, slender projectiles she'd fashioned from the same composite material. The workshop fell silent. Even the Zephrons, whose species communicated primarily through bioluminescence, seemed to dim with anticipation. Cadet Chen, Vraltok's translator dripped with condescension. Explain your implement. It's a bow, sir, based on a human weapon design that dates back approximately 70,000 standard years. Elizabeth held up one of the projectiles. These are arrows. A sound rippled through the classroom, the Vraxian equivalent of laughter. Several students openly displayed their species' version of amusement. The Keltorian who'd designed the phase shift weapon made a comment in his native tongue that the translator mercifully rendered as the expression of disbelief. Vraltok's scales darkened to a deep burgundy, a sign of anger among his kind. You were instructed to design a weapon suitable for modern combat, and you present me with a toy from your species' primitive past? With respect, sir, it's not a toy. Elizabeth's voice remained calm, but Noah caught the steel beneath it. He'd seen that look before. May I demonstrate? By all means. Vraltok gestured to the testing range, his movements sharp with irritation. Show us how your bow performs against modern defensive technology. The instructor activated his personal combat drone, a sleek, AI-controlled device that served as both his teaching assistant and a mobile weapons platform. It was equipped with energy shields, evasion protocols, and countermeasure systems. Standard procedure was to have it fly a predetermined pattern, while students attempted to hit it with their weapons. Most failed. The few who succeeded required multiple shots and sophisticated targeting algorithms. The drone launched, zipping through the air at combat speed, its shields glowing a faint blue as it initiated evasive maneuvers. Elizabeth didn't bother with any of the targeting systems built into the workshop. She simply nocked an arrow, drew the bowstring back to her cheek with a fluid motion that spoke of countless hours of practice, and released. The arrow flew. What happened next would become legend in the Academy's halls. The composite projectile, traveling at a velocity the drone's sensors hadn't been programmed to recognize as a threat, passed through a momentary gap in the energy shields, Shields designed to stop energy weapons and explosive projectiles, not solid, unpowered ammunition. The arrow struck the drone's central processor with a satisfying crack, and the device spiraled to the ground, sparking and dead. The silence in the workshop was absolute. Elizabeth lowered her bow and turned to face Instructor Vraltok. "The assignment was to build a functional weapon, sir. I believe I've demonstrated functionality." Noah couldn't suppress his grin. Around the room, alien students stared with what could only be described as shock. The Keltorian's chromatic skin had shifted to a color Noah's translator helpfully identified as profound respect mixed with confusion. Vraltok approached the fallen drone, examining the arrow protruding from its core. His scales rippled through several colors before settling on a deep amber. "Explain," he said finally, "how a 70,000-year-old weapon design defeated a combat drone equipped with modern shielding." "The shields were designed to stop what the galaxy considers weapons, sir," Elizabeth replied. "High-energy projectiles, plasma, exotic particles. Not a simple mechanical system launching an unpowered solid object. Sometimes the oldest solutions work precisely because everyone's forgotten to defend against them." The instructor's mandibles clicked slowly, a sound Noah had learned meant deep thought in Vraxian culture. "Cadet Chen, you have provided an important lesson today." He turned to address the entire class. "This is the danger of assumption. We become so focused on advancing technology that we forget the fundamentals. Humans," he gestured to both Elizabeth and Noah, "carry with them the memory of warfare from their species' earliest days. They do not abandon what works merely because it is old." He looked back at Elizabeth, and if a Vraxian could smile, Noah thought he might be doing so. Full marks, cadet, and a commendation for innovative thinking. As the class filed out, Noah fell into step beside Elizabeth. 70,000 years, really? She shrugged, bow slung over her shoulder. "Give or take. The point is, humanity didn't get to the stars by forgetting where we came from. We got here by remembering every lesson we ever learned and being creative about applying them. That's very HFY of you." "What? Nothing," Noah grinned. "Just humanity, hell yeah," Elizabeth laughed, and the sound echoed through the corridors of the Galactic Military Academy, where a 70,000-year-old weapon had just taught the future of warfare an important lesson. Never underestimate a human with a point to prove.